Hey, hey, welcome to another episode of All Over the Place with Jay on our Dish and Dirt YouTube channel. Again, me and Chris are scheduled and set to do our Dish and Dirt channel next Saturday. I've been under the weather, getting better now. But yes, we're going to get back to Dish and Dirt. I detox throughout the week, so I'm drinking natural green juice that I make. I juice, and then I have my Black Girl Vitamin Collagen powder in here. I have flex seeds, chia seeds, and sea moss. So cheers, y'all. It's good to detox. I do all kind of detoxifications, but yes, I try to drink my green juice probably at least 3 to 4 times a week. But okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm doing Married to Medicine. Recap today, season 12, episode 11. I'm also going to be doing Belle Collective, which is season 7, episode 2, and then I'm going to be doing Real Housewives of Potomac, the second episode of the reunion. Real quick, I'm just gonna run through that real quick because I made me care about Karen coming back, because she's not coming back till the 3rd episode, which is on Sunday. Okay, so let's get into Married to Medicine. The episode starts off with Contessa pretty much teaching her son how to drive or whatever. And then you see Brandy at her job, and Brandy is injecting some lady's neck, and it looks crazy to me. It looks crazy to me, but that's her job, and that's what she loves to do. I personally couldn't do it. I don't like watching it, but go off. It's good to see them in their elements whenever they show them at work. Dr. Mimi and her husband, they work together. I'm not sure exactly. I do kind of want to know what he does for a living. Like, is he the office manager? But what have you. That's what they do. And so anyways, so they show them at work or whatever. And I like I said, I enjoy seeing that. And then it shows Angel. And she was saying she was in music videos and modeling. I didn't know that about Angel. She was in music videos and modeling, and they were showing, some of the videos and stuff that she was in as well. And that's how she paid her way through nursing school. So I said, okay, then I didn't know that. So that was a good tidbit about her. And then Contessa, Angel, and Quad and Simone, they're at some type of event. So let me see, movie, and then like the executive producer comes up, he compliments Contessa, and Contessa was like, is he married and all that other stuff. Her and her husband give me that, I don't know, they kind of give me the vibe that they're either in an open relationship or I don't know. But Contessa has said a couple things before. I'm just like, do you guys dabble in other people? Because she acting like it was nothing, like she ain't married. And I'm just like, okay then. Somebody give her a little compliment. She take me to all those. Okay, girl. She was showing to ask if he was single. And then that her and Cecil would not be hosting the couples trip this year. That they're going to go ahead and hand the baton over to Toya and Dr. Eugene. And Mimi says, Dr. Mimi says, I think I'm cool on that. She was just pretty much saying, like, if you're going to be the head of the group, like, you have to be like the glue. Which I do kind of agree with her on. Like, she's Toya is extremely petty. She's childish. She and their marriage is not of a model marriage that you would want to model your marriage after. Even though I don't look at anybody like that. That's a Contessa whose husband wasn't cleared by the doctor. What's the man's name? What's that? And so he wasn't cleared by the doctor yet for him to even travel. So yeah, I feel bad for him. Hopefully that situation gets cleared up soon. So he only going to be there, and then the other husband, he can only be there for one day. Dr. Mimi and her, my heart goes out to Dr. Mimi and her husband, because they don't have the child care, they don't have that village and stuff. So he's only gonna be able to be there for one day. But he was acting excited. He was getting his little luggage and stuff together. He said, "Listen, I want to be at the Met Gala." And so anyways, Dr. Jackie asked Dr. Heavenly for some help with the Met Gala because she was, saying that, Toya, they can't leave it in Toya's hands. And so she's asking her, and she was laughing or whatever. Okay. And Toya starts to tell them that they're going to have like the singles, which is Angel, the med gala too. And Dr. Heavily tells her to shut the F up and sit down. And then when Dr. Damon starts talking, she's like, my man is talking, da, 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 da. And then Toya does rightfully say, like, your man started talking while I was talking first, pretty much. And me and your man tried to chime in. And so she did have a point there. So Dr. Damon just said, I just don't want no more arguing. Let's pray. And then Dr. Heavily like, we don't want you to pray, da, 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 like cussing and going off about her praying. It's like, dang girl, can you calm down for the Lord for a second? I mean, goodness. And so I would not do that. I gotta delete. And so anyway, so she says, so I said the thing about that. They're talking about the Met Gala still, and then they, like I said, they go in and they talk to the kids. Before they get into the community center. Dr. Heavenly says, what y'all need to do is apologize, for effing up the galas before and then just giving that wine. And then Dr. Eugene was like, people, they drank that wine. And Dr. Heavenly was like, because it wasn't nothing there, wasn't nothing else for them to drink. And Dr. Eugene pretty much solidified, and ain't nobody ever apologizing for that. So you can go ahead and let that go. I don't know why she wanted an apology so bad. I really don't. I don't know if it's just to throw it up in their face, but they feel justified. So I don't know if she wants them to apologize and run that money back. I'm not sure. But I don't know why Dr. Heavily wants them to apologize about them cases of wine. Was they wrong? Yes, it was. But listen, it's already over and done with. They ain't about to write no check for the previous one. So I don't know. I would kind of be like on what Quad is on. I'll be like, yeah, baby, you don't worry about it. Your name is on it. We're not the Met Gala is in your hands, and I'm not paying nothing because you didn't pay nothing last year. So I would be right with Quad. Quad is like, yeah, and going about her business. I would be doing the same. And so anyway, I talked about the fight already in the car. This is at the community service. The guys go outside or whatever, and then they're talking amongst themselves, and the girls are over there talking too. And Dr. Damon tells Dr. Mimi and her husband that he doesn't support, he doesn't necessarily want Heavy doing this signature stuff, but he kind of just like goes with it. And then because King is telling them about the IVF, issues and that journey and things of that nature, and pretty much saying he's struggling with that. And then Dr. Damien says, which I'm surprised by, that he doesn't support Dr. Heavily doing this campaign or whatever, that, he's kind of going along with it, but he doesn't necessarily want her doing it. And it's probably because he know her mouth, he know her temper. If somebody come out their mouth and say the wrong thing, he don't want his wife on a campaign trail going off on nobody. But I can easily see it being done, especially how she gets done. I can easily see somebody saying something that she don't like and going off. So it was surprising to hear that Dr. Damien doesn't really support that. But after that, the episode seemed very, very, very short. I don't know why BRT Medicine seemed like it's a 30-minute show that they make into an hour, because it just seems short every single week. It's just always seems short. I don't know why. Okay, so let's go ahead and just recap real quick. Real Housewives of Potomac season 10, episode 19. The show starts off with Wendy pretty much saying to Ashley, because Ashley's, this is from last week. This is from the last week reunion. At the end, Ashley is just like, I don't really, she said victify or something, my attributes. And then Wendy said, you ain't got none. And then Ashley says, well, I only got one social security number. And starts talking about because the clip shows that Wendy has 67 credit cards. So Ashley's doing the 67, which is so annoying. I wish they cut that part out. It was ugly. Because it's already too much with the kids saying 6'7", and maybe because I have a whole bunch of nieces and nephews and they wore 6'7" out this past summer, and that I don't want to hear nobody say number no 6'7". I be wanting to just take off as soon as I hear 6'7" anything. And so I thought that was whack of Ashley to respond, and what's the name just mocking her. She's like, well, what document did it say that in? So I'm like, okay, I'm tired of y'all. That's why I really haven't recapped Real Housewives of Potomac, because it's a snore. And then so anyways, they talk about the 6'7" mess, and then Angel's turn to speak or whatever, and then it's not her turn to speak. Ashley said, well, let me say one thing. She was just like, the show has changed the dynamics or whatever. She was just like, before Karen we would go back and forth tit for tat, and then Giselle was like, yeah, we had thicker skin back then. And then and when Giselle chimes in, they pretty much Angel assumes that they're speaking of her. Now they do have somewhat of a point because of how Angel is. Before when they were clowning Angel, I was feeling sorry for Angel. I was feeling sorry for her. But after, because she was being very sensitive about that catfish. Who gives a fuck? Like, who really cares? Just because Giselle said she looked catfish, that picture was definitely photoshopped. You know, people use Photoshop and different what's the names, all the filters all the time. I love getting a good filter. Why not? So, I mean, just admit it. But okay, yeah, it was filtered. And you see a bitch is fine still. Am I not sitting here still fine? And that's all I would have to say. I would have moved on. Like, who gives a damn about Giselle saying you was catfish? I mean, because the girl, the picture wasn't filtered. But after that, when she took him on that trip and just did them all the way dirty, after she was getting ganged up on, I was like, oh well. I can't say that's what she deserved, but I mean, because if I was in those accommodations at that house, you would have been on. I would have been trying to, like, y'all want to jump her? No water. I would have been at her house. I'd be like, okay, send us a car back, and either send us somewhere else, or I'm gonna be knocking at your door. But I'm not gonna be sitting nowhere at nobody's house where I can't wash my ass. No, thank you. But Angel is a tad sensitive, so you know. After Ashley said that, Giselle was agreeing, and then she chimed in because she was pretty much like, y'all talking about me, but she was a little too sensitive, because back in the day, a lot of stuff has changed. You know what I'm saying? Just with this Tyra, this American Next Top Model thing, even when American Idol first came out, like people talking to Simon Cowell, like the way Simon Cowell talked to folk, Tyra Banks, all that stuff was cool back then. Everybody just so sensitive now. You can't talk to folk like that no more. There's been too much shit going on, so you can't be talking to people kind of crazy, any kind of way, which is for the best. But back then, that's what TV was. So we wanted to see people go off on phone. So that's the difference. And then so when it's Kay just really gets on my nerves, and so when it's time to talk for Kay to talk about her stuff, you know, he was just like, you know, Kay, your things, your business, your da-da-da, and she was just like, yes, and I was like, no. Like, girl, like, are you a pretty girl? Yes, but that's all you can stand on. It's a girl can stand on is her being pretty. Like, even when what's the old girl's name? Jazzy's dress looked such a hot mess. I mean, was Monique's dress a fool too? Yes, it was. Monique's dress was a fool. Jazzy's girl, slap your stylist to sleep. Slap her. I don't know what kind of costume you had on. I mean, Monique's was a costume too. But I did like her hair, and I liked the pyramids. I liked the idea of what she was trying to do. I don't know what Jazzy was trying to do. Talk about it was a Nigerian custom dress, girl. It was a mess. But then Kay would have set her ass up. Her dress was cute though. Kay would have set her ass up like, girl, I have a body. I have this. It was like, girl. But do you have common sense? And do you have self-esteem? No, you don't. So have a seat. I would just tear Kay apart. She's so insecure, and it shows, and it's ugly. I mean, if you want to, clearly you got so mad when she said you took Greg's wife from him. You said you took. When Jassy started, she was just like, you took that man's wife, talking about Greg, who was formerly married, and you raising his kids. And she got so mad. She got so upset. She was just like, you don't know the fuck you're talking about, bitch. Like, she got so mad. Like, if it's not the case, then I would have been sitting there pretty. Like, I didn't take that man's, I didn't take him from nobody. I would have been sitting there calm as cool and collected, but she got mad and stood up and was talking about she got body, she got this, she got that. Girl, you ain't got nothing but that frame that he got you from that jeweler. That's all you got. So you might want to keep your mouth shut, because you looking simple. You're giving mighty simple, boo-boo. And then so I did like Tia. When it was time to talk about Tia, Giselle gets emotional because they show a scene where Tia went to go back to clean out her father's house and with her and her daughters and stuff, and it was a very touching scene for her. And then Giselle was like, I'm not gonna cry. And then Andy said, no, she ain't. He was like, I would wait for 10 years. She ain't shed a tear once. I thought that was funny. And then so anyway, Giselle starts talking about her court case with her stepmom, or her father's widow. And unfortunately, the judge ruled in the wife's case. That is tough. You know, like, because Giselle was like, I don't care about that money. But I'm like, couldn't you have put that in the clause? Couldn't there be, like, if she truly had a case, I would have been like, because that is rough. You know what I'm saying? When parents get remarried, and then, you know, the parents' fortune doesn't go to the kids. Rightfully so, it should go to the children, not the wife, not the new wife. It should go to the children. Okay, and so Giselle says that this woman is horrible, but who knows? Because I feel like Giselle is horrible too. But she said the reason why she wanted her father's things is because he has a lot of he was an activist, and he has a lot of, you know, you know, memorabilia or just a lot of things that, you know, are from him serving as an activist for so long, that she wanted to have for her daughters, which I can totally understand. And I would have said, can we like keep the money if that's what she wants, but can we get these things that my dad built before he knew this hoe? You know, that is just wrong. Let that girl, let his kids have what he everything he worked for, girl. You wasn't there with him when he worked for all that stuff. So that's just, I felt bad for Giselle. She didn't end up crying. She got through that emotional time or whatever. But I don't know why she couldn't have did that in another way. And then Monique, then it's Monique's turn. Like I said, she was looking a mess to me. I just really think Monique is beautiful. I love the way she well, I ain't gonna say I love the way she normally dresses. No, that's not the case. I don't normally like the way she dresses, but I just love her spirit. I love how far she's come on her journey. And her hair is always on point, baby. It's always giving. And then so yeah, so then it's time for Monique to speak or whatever, and then they talk about her ex-husband who had just sent her a cease and desist. He's acting like a real female in this divorce. You know, a lot of current men, when they divorce their women, like Todd and Candy, like they just get ugly. It's real. It's sad. It's sad. Todd is more being the female because he's trying to get Candy's money. So pretty much what Mama Joyce was saying, it just come looking like it's true, Todd. I'm sorry. And me and my husband used to root for him all the time. Because Mama Joyce and him he do him wrong. They would do him wrong, but it's like, ooh, they wouldn't lie. Okay? Then it talks about, Angel brings up the fact that Monique was trying to compare her marriage when Monique was married to Monique was comparing Angel's marriage that she Angel and Bobby, because they were both former NFL. Monique does explain. She said the reason why I was comparing her relationship because Brandy did. She said after we met and the cameras were down, she was just like, if I can get with you because you know we have a lot of similarities, we have a lot of things in common, and so that's why I think why Monique took that and just like, oh, maybe she has, because we watched her marriage play out, and so maybe that's why, you know, Monique thought that because kind of Angel alluded to it, but Angel was just all mad and stuff like, oh, it's just sad. I just don't like Angel. She's not cut out for the show. I hope she'll come back. She's a beautiful woman. They have beautiful kids. Is the show? She don't need the show. Go back to your nice ass house in Colorado. But you don't need the show. And she's not built for the show. And so Monique explains that, which I can see where Monique got that confused, but you know, she was like, you know, if it ain't, then it ain't. So I don't know why you get no hell bent over it. And then it talks about, then Monique goes on to talk about, rather Stacy dated him. They dated her ex before. You know, Monique says pretty much she was just like, I never cared about Stacy dating him. You know what I'm saying? If she did date him, she's a beautiful woman. She was saying that it was fun watching her. She's hilarious. And she was like, but you know, I never looked into it until something came back to me. And so the show ends with Monique pulling out her phone and saying, I know you guys may not be able to air this, but and then all the girls are like gasping and clutching their pearls and all that other stuff. And so we'll see next week. And I can't wait to see Karen come back. That's what I really want. I can't wait to see. We'll see what Monique was showing when it comes to Stacy dating her Mr. Samuels. And so okay, so now we're gonna get on to Belle Collective season 7 episode 2. Okay, so it starts off with them still after the last event, the Love Jones 90 throwback event. And Glenn gets up after his awkward ass poem. That poem was so awkward. I want him to stop. First I started with that rap, and I was like, no. And then now it's this poem. I'm just like, okay, do you just like embarrassing your wife? Because that's what's a given. I will be somewhere under the table. Okay. And then so he gonna ask her in front of everybody if he loved her, or say he was like, do you love me? And she paused for so long to where Marie Monroe had to be like, say yes. And I'm just like, girl, don't be telling me to say yes if I'm over here trying, this man put that woman through a lot, and it's on TV too. I would be giving him the cold shoulder too. No, period. And he's doing too much. He's being too persistent. He's being so insecure. He is so afraid that she's gonna leave him. He needs to just fall back for a little bit. Give her some space. Like you've done a lot. It's like, give your wife that space. She deserves it. Don't act like you didn't do nothing. Okay? Like you always gonna be guilty in my eyes. And clearly hers too, okay? Because she's not having it. She really ain't. It's hopefully she don't wait too long, because it looks like she's cool on Glenn, and she might be like, yeah, I'm cool on you. Like she ain't trying to do nothing with him. Listen, I'm gonna go further into the episode. You'll see. And so, anyways, after that awkward ass, long ass say yes, he still was kind of feeling some kind of way. And I don't know why Marie Monroe told her to say yes. It's like, girl, pause and stay in your lane. Stay in your business. That's why you ain't with Cedric now. They be telling me what to say to this fool. Like, he didn't embarrass me all up and through. You think I'm about to be like, oh, I love you, baby. Like, ain't nothing happened. No, just like she said, we ain't doing all that at home. That I'm not been defending me in front of these folks faking, especially for the folk that I don't deal with and that don't care whether we together or not. And she ain't lying. Okay, and then so Shantae, which is a friend of Letitia's, she busted out and asked Latrice, like if she feels like she owes Letitia, I hope I say her name right, if she owes Letitia a an apology for bringing that girl who is Latrice's best friend. So the last season it ended with Latrice. Latrice inviting her friend Amanda to a event. And her asking the question, have you ever been attracted to any of her friends? It was definitely a setup. And Latrice knows she is all the way wrong. And so I don't know why Latrice is, because she's the one acting real nasty and mad at Letitia. And Letitia's acting like, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? It's Latrice who's being petty and throwing shade and being extremely childish. And Letitia's just like, girl, like, I know I didn't do nothing wrong, so I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, matter of fact, I'm having a Friendsgiving. I'm inviting all the Bells. I'm inviting all, I'm a Friendsgiving. I think it was like a brunch or thing like that. And so she was just like, I'm inviting all the Bells. I'm inviting everybody. Letitia is, she's kind of, so Marie Monroe did ask her, are you gonna go? She asked Latrice, necessarily give an answer at that time. She was just like, I don't know, like, we'll see. And then in her confessional, she's just like, oh, she's being so fake, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you don't F with me, so why you invite me to brunch? It just shows you that she's not tripping off you, girl. You are the one that was wrong, and she's just showing you, like, baby, I'll be the bigger person. I'm not tripping, but you need to be the one apologizing, period. Okay, Tracy is the one that's mad and just doing shady stuff. She was just like, well, she's invited, or whatever. And then it shows the next scene. It shows Latrice meeting up with Selena and the girl Amanda, the one that's her best friend that she brought to that event to try to pretty much say Glenn was in her DMs. And so she's the one, Latrice is the one that's wrong to me in this situation, because she was wrong for bringing a girl, and she was wrong for whoever asked that question about being attracted to their friends. And so she's meeting up with them somewhere at what's her name, and then Amanda, she sits down and she said, "Where's Cliff?" And you could tell she already knew, because Latrice was like, "Oh, he went to Columbia. He went on a boys' trip," and they do go in. And this is just, I just don't like to be this way as a girlfriend or a sister. I have 6 sisters, and I have a best friend who's like a sister as well, and I'm pretty much my crew from high school. And I would never tell them. I would never say nothing like that, even if that's what you think. Why would you say that? Well, how would you be like, oh, girl, he probably down there, ain't no telling what he doing. And then so Latrice, with her insecure behind, she picks up her phone and calls him. She picks up her phone and calls Cliff in Columbia. He answers on the first ring. I'm pretty sure she told him that, I'm gonna call you because I know where they're gonna get the clown is. I'm pretty sure she set that up. But anyway, she picks up her phone, calls him. He does answer on the first ring, and then she was like, "Oh, the girl said you down there having sex with another woman." They so country to me. And he was just like, lies. And he said, you better get them, tell them Bells together. He said, that'll be like cheating on myself. I'm almost positive that she said that he's cheated before in the past. And so when you cheated before her in the past, would you cheat on yourself then too? So yeah, answer that. But he just gives me, like, no. He gives me creep. He gives me, no. Latrice probably getting too old for him, so he probably moving on to a younger one. And then she a fool, because she was just like, he would never ever be able to find another Latrice, but I know I will be able to find another Cliff. I don't know why she said that. I'm like, girl, you clowning your husband, okay? I don't know what made her think that was cool to say. But I do feel like it was wrong for them to be saying everything that they were saying. They're like, girl, call back in 2 hours. I said, damn, y'all ain't even trying. She was looking all simple. It looked like she was about to cry, lip quiver. It's not funny. It was looking simple though. And so Latrice, she goes on to tell the girls, Selena and Amanda, that she knows for a fact that Letitia has contacted her old employees. She said she knows the fact. She was like, so I'm gonna opt out of the Friendsgiving or whatever, and she was like, so I won't be going. Or whatever, so you know, I guess Selena go back and tell her, and then she doesn't go to the Friendsgiving event, but of course Latrice being petty, she brings her some flake flowers from Dollar Tree. But I love the way Letitia handled it. She said, girl, she said, even though they fake, tell her I said thank you. She said they from Dollar Tree. But she said, girl, that was cute, like you did that, like you tried it, but she caught it. And Latrice is just looking real bad, like girl, you are looking mad childish, you are the one petty, you are the one that's why are you mad at Latrice anyway? I mean, why is Latrice mad at Letitia? It really, her reason for being mad at her really doesn't make any sense to me at all whatsoever. And then now you want to make up stuff, talk about, because she had a gay employer that used to stay with her. He did used to be out of line. He was crying on the reunion one day. Last season, I don't know what he was crying for, but anyways, so it goes back and shows that her ex-employee, and yeah, so which looked like he was lying, but Latrice could have made it up too. She could have made it up too, but I like the way she took it. Carrie told the girls before Marie Monroe walked in that she was no longer with Cedric, and then so as soon as she walked in, they pretty much tell her like, oh, she told us that you waiting with Cedric no more. So she was like, Carrie, why y'all was in my business? But she goes on and said, you know, we're not together no more, or whatever. And so she you know, she tells them, you know, what's going on. And then Matt and Glenn, they get together to play basketball, which I really thought was so cute, because you can tell Glenn really needs that or wants that that kind of that male companion. You know what I'm saying? He was like, everybody don't have a village around him. And you know, and as black men, a lot of black men are not comfortable or cool with opening up and speaking about their feelings and speaking about, you know, things that they're going through. So I thought it was very cool of Matt. And I didn't know him and Carrie had been married for that long. But yeah, so they meet up for basketball, and I was so happy to see Glenn get his ass beat, because I don't know if it's because just he light skinned or he ain't from Huntsville. I mean, he ain't from Jackson, but he was just like, yeah, of course I'm a better basketball player than him. Like, he about to get whooped. Please. Matt told Glenn's ass up. I was so happy to see it. I really was. I was just like, what made him think that he was just gonna be a better baller? Like, get out of here, boy. So he lit his ass up, and Glenn was definitely like, oh, that's home court advantage. I'm a gentleman. That's the only reason why you won. Glenn, right. Doubt that very seriously. And then so I was happy to see them talk and be there for each other. I really did. I enjoyed the men coming together and them, you know, lifting each other up or whatever. I really enjoyed seeing that. And he was like, he said, do you need to stretch? He said, your back will be hurting in the morning. He was like, he said, it ain't. He said, because I ain't doing nothing with it. Pretty much. And then he's going to tell the teacher's business, saying like she been busy at work and burying herself in work. But, you know, she definitely been busy in her bedroom. And when, you know, Letitia does kind of explain, like, I'm not feeling you right now. And I don't blame her. And so you ain't getting no nookie, boy. You better be happy you in the house. Okay? So you might want to get that together. So don't think things are just going to go right back to what they was before. Like, you've invaded her trust, and you know she ain't checking for you, sir. And I don't blame her at all whatsoever. So they start talking about that, but Matt does kind of get some bad advice. He was like, is anybody married really happy? Yes, fool. Why are you in your marriage if you're not happy in it? So I hope Carrie gathers him together for saying that, because I hope that these men are out here married and happily married, because if not, why are you in the marriage? I don't understand that. I've never understood that. I've been with my husband for 26 years, been married for 20, and I love my husband. Do I love him every single day of those 20 years being married? No, I don't. But I love him enough to work this out with him. We in it for the long haul, forever. Forever. Who said that? Cardi used to be such a good time on the show on Love and Hip Hop. Okay, so anyways, I'm not sure why he said that, but like I said, hopefully we see Carrie or somebody bring that up on the reunion. Say, excuse me, run that back? Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, explain that, please. And then so, yeah, he just goes on to say that, you know, she's not feeling him or whatever like that. But like I said, it was nice seeing them have each other's backs. And then it's time for Selena's 50th birthday party. And she came in looking so bad. She really did. It wasn't my type of dress, but Selena, she just bad looking bitch for 50 years old. Bitch looks good. Okay, I can only hope I look as good as Selena at 50, okay? So So she has all the girls wearing black. I think Latrice's dress wasn't on my. I don't like feathers. Feathers are not it. That's not the mark. But she will come through with fashion sometimes. But that dress she had on wasn't it. And then Marie Monroe's dress was okay, but her business partner friend, I don't know what she had on. He looked very country and dating. But Marie looked okay, and then who I get my fashions from the most is Tamara, and I did not like her dress. It was lacy. It wasn't that cute. But she's the one that normally comes through with the fashions. But I was kind of I wasn't impressed with Tamara's dress. And like I said, Latrice's was no, the feathers wasn't it. But Letitia's dress was cute. But I don't like how like Selena is the birthday girl. So and what's they made an interest after her. So I didn't appreciate them, Letitia, having her own interest after the birthday girl Selena got there. But Selena comes through, honey. Like I said, for her to be 50, the girl came through with her little Jessica Rabbit red dress on. It was definitely sparkly and all that stuff. It wasn't, like I said, it was not my style, but it's very, very cute dress. And so she walked in with her man or whatever, and so he goes to speak and say a speech or whatever. Wait, Letitia makes a grand. Oh yeah, like I said, Letitia, she made a grand interest to me. Her dress was cute or whatever like that. But I feel like she should have came after Selena came. Walked in. She should have been the last one walked in there. She should have had the last interest. But anyways, Glenn goes up to her or whatever to try to get a kiss or whatever because she just walked in. She said she was working, so that is why she was late. And then so Glenn goes to give her a kiss, and she did the lean back. I do be feeling so sorry for him, but it's like he's trying too hard, and he's giving it too much. He's doing way too much. He needs to, like I said, give her some space. Give her a little bit of space. Like he's trying a little bit too hard for me. And so when she does the lean back, I really do feel bad for him because, like I said, he's trying so hard. But it's like his breath stank though, so I kind of don't blame her because it's like that breath be talking. Okay, but she's just not feeling it. And then so she goes on to explain to him why. She was like, they're watching, like we're chilling right now. Like I don't want them to think it's something that it's not. We're trying to get back on track. Like, why do I gotta explain this to you? And then so he was like, okay, you weird to me. Or whatever. And then so later on he's asking Matt where Cliff is at, and he told him that he was out of the country or whatever like that. And then the girls go sit down, and Letitia says to Latrice, she's like, I like the flowers. I feel like she was being sarcastic, but Latrice was like, okay, you welcome. And then Letitia starts laughing. She was like, that was from Dollar Tree. She started laughing, and I liked her stance on it. And Latrice just looks off because she ain't got nothing else to say, because she knows it's shady, and she knows she did that mess on purpose. But Latrice is just giving class after class after class. Not Latrice, Letitia. She's handling. She's really. I love the way she's moving with Latrice. Because Latrice is just being nothing but shady and childish, and she needs to grow up. She's just mad because she want to be the queen bee of the show, and it's not yours. It's not ever gonna be yours. It's Letitia. But I think Latrice just want to have that front row. She wants to be the main girl, which is very ugly and insecure of her. And so I'm glad she laughed it off. And then, like I said, she looks away. And then Selena's man gets up and gives a speech. She gives her gift. It's a Tiffany's necklace. It was very nice. And then she gets up and she says who her bridesmaids. And she says her marriage is going to be April of 2026. And she gets Tamara a gift bag to be a bridesmaid. And then she gives Latrice a bag to be a bridesmaid. Over there like that. And then Latrice goes up to the women and just like, this is my birthday, my 50th. I want everybody to get up and go outside, follow me. And so they do. They all get up and they go out there. She was like, I want the Bells to get along or whatever like that. And Letitia, her being she's just a boss. She really is. She's just very classy, and she's a woman. She's a real woman. She's grown, and she don't have time for the mess. And so after Selena says, I want us all to get along as Bells, and Letitia was like, I'll start. She's like, I'll start. She said, just so you know, Shantae, she said, I already gathered her together, and they did show her when she did a meeting for her talk show. She was like, I already gathered Shantae together. She said, please know that I didn't send her to do that. And she was just like I told her I can fight my own battles, and I don't that wasn't, I didn't tell her, I just had her send for you. And Latrice just sits there like, not having nothing to say because she knows she seriously, it's evident who the shady one is. And so she was like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and call bullshit on that. She like, because I know for a fact you've been contacting one of my previous employees. And then she looking like, who? She's like, who did I contact? She was like, what are you talking about? And she was just like, my ex-employee Josh. She was like, who? I don't know his last name. I don't know him. Like, please, I never spoke to him. I don't like, what are you talking about? And then she was just like, and so Letitia starts to ask her like, why would you say that? Like, who said that? And what did he say? Like, what are you talking about? And Letitia like, because you did, bitch. And so that's when Letitia's like, nah, nigga, I'm trying. You want a nigga here now? She was like, I was trying to be classy, have some class. So she does kind of walk up on her like, nah, boo, like you got me effed up, da da da. So she going off. The episode ends, and listen, I can't wait for next week. You hear me? I can't wait for next week because I hope, like, I don't like for I can see women fighting. I don't like to see women fighting, but Latricia their ass whoop. She do. There are certain people that just needs their ass beat, and she one of them folk. She one of them folk because she's trying so hard to just take her spot. Girl, you're clearly jealous and insecure. Why? I don't know. She has a beautiful home. She's younger than Letitia. Her husband do treat her like shit. So I mean, I don't know if that's why. She has businesses too. So I don't know. Letitia got her own problems with Glenn and all that. So it ain't like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like she has a lot to envy for. I don't know why Latrice is so hard up on Letitia. Like, leave that girl alone. You the one playing in her face. You are the one playing in her face, Latrice. You are playing in her face. So I don't know why you so up in arms. Call her name and shit. And so that's when the episode ends, and it looked like Letitia wants to Letitia, however you say her name, wants to get up in the streets' ass where she needs to be. She do need her ass whooped. I'm sorry. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I tried to make this one short because I was recapping so many, but I'm gonna just go back and cut whatever I need to cut down. Look forward to me and Chris doing Audition Dirt. Like I said, we're going to record on Saturday, and it probably gonna take us about a good 2 weeks to get the episode out. Chris does a lot of editing, so it's my husband. It just takes them some time to do all that. But yes, thanks so much for tuning in. Bye, y'all. Peace and blessings. I also wanted to give condolences to Mary Cosby's son, Robert Jr. My heart truly, truly bleeds and goes out to you, mother to mother. I know that was your one and only. I'm only praying that God gives you guys the healing and the peace that you and your husband are going to need to be at peace with him leaving here so early. I am truly, truly sorry for Mary. My heart really goes out to her. Peace and blessings.